Good evening, everyone, and welcome. WE's coverage of Berks County High School basketball continues tonight as we have a crossover matchup in Division I and Division II between the Berks Catholic Saints and the Exeter Eagles. Of course, these two teams were longtime rivals in Division II for a while, but the Saints are in their second season back in Division I of the Berks Conference, where they are off to a 3-1 start. We had that one loss, and of course, that was right before the new year when they lost to Reading High at the Geigo 48-40, but wins over Wilson, Governor Mifflin, and Muhlenberg. The Saints are 3-1. They're 8-2 overall. Exeter also at 3-1 and atop the Division II standings. The Eagles are 8-4 overall. It's the Saints and the Eagles in an early January matchup, and we've got it for you live tonight on WEU High School Basketball, presented to you by Savage Auto Group, and as we bring it to you live on 8:30 a.m. WEU Reading. And, of course, you can watch tonight's game and all of our high school basketball coverage throughout most of the season and well into the playoffs as well. You can watch it for free on our YouTube channel. That's at 8:30, WEEU Sports. We're going to take a timeout. We're back with our Shell's Restaurant Dairy Swirl Miniature Golf pregame show live from Ripton right after this.
When the pressure's on and it's time to make your best move, the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams Platinum Realty is here to help you score big in today's real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, or planning your next play, Susan's experience and dedication make her the MVP you want on your side. For winning results and a team that never stops hustling, trust the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams, your home court advantage.
Hi, I'm John Petrozelli, principal of Berks Catholic High School. Berks Catholic High School prepares students to be college and life ready. Guided by our 4 pillars of success: God, family, academics, and fun, we strive to positively impact our students spiritually, academically, socially, and emotionally so that they can lead distinguished lives of service and to reach heaven one day. Come be a part of something great. Please join us for our open house on Thursday, January 29th from 5 to 7 p.m.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's Kettle Chips today and snack on a delicious tradition.
Tonight's pregame show is brought to you by Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf. Fuel up for game day with their delicious burgers, their hot dogs, fried chicken, maybe a barbecue sandwich, French fries, and, of course, ice cream. And don't forget, when the weather gets just a little bit nicer, you can have your own version of a battle on the 27-hole miniature golf course. Visit Shell's on the 5th Street Highway in Temple. Alongside Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. The Exeter Eagles, the Berks Catholic Saints. The Saints, as we mentioned, going into break 8-2 overall, 3-1 in the Division I of the Berks Conference. This is their first crossover game against a Division II opponent. They beat Wilson. You heard that here on WEU. They beat Governor Mifflin. They beat Muhlenberg on the road, and then the road loss to Reading High by a final score of 48-40 to give the Saints their first county loss and just their second loss of the season. Their other loss coming early on in the season, a game actually played here at Exeter in an early season tournament. They lost to Parkland. So that's the quick recap of where the Saints are right now. But Rich, talking with Rich Garcella, we were talking with Steve Bessley before tonight's basketball game, and obviously we had to talk about what we saw last, which was the loss to Reading High, in which the Red Knights did something that I didn't know that anybody could do, and that's they held Kingston McCoy to 5 points on the night.
Yeah, they really hounded Kingston and really frustrated him and surrounded him every time he touched the ball, whether it was with 1, 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 defenders. Made it very difficult for him, made him very uncomfortable, and as Snip said, nobody else was able to pick up the pace offensively. They only had 11 points at halftime. They made it a game for a little bit in the third quarter, but then Reading just pulled away. And really, both teams have lost. Their only league loss has been to Reading, and Reading is coming on very strong. They lost last night in overtime at Central York, I think the top-rated 6A team in District 3.
There's 2 players for the Saints who have the ability, I think, that on a given night are going to be and could be difference makers. One of them is Gavin Welker. He has unfortunately had some issues health-wise that have kept him in and out of the lineup over the course of this season. But we saw enough of his game last year before he was ineligible for the postseason that there are nights in which Gavin Walker can go off, including having a 19-point effort against Reading High last year. And now, in addition to that, is the emergence of Carmelo Harper, the sophomore, as he gets more and more experience and gets much more and more comfortable and maybe becomes a little bit more closer to the alpha role on this team, and obviously is occupied by Kingston McCoy. But Carmelo Harper is another who's averaging 11 a game. He's another player who could give the Saints a consistent double digit every night.
Yeah, he had some off-season surgery, and it was in October, and he has slowly but surely played himself into shape. He's averaging 11 points a game. He is an X factor, and we saw him last year, Bob, in the district playoffs and in the state playoffs, come up big for the Saints when they needed him in 2 or 3 games. I can't remember exactly the one. I think there was one at Huntington against the team from District 10, and I can't remember.
That was Meadville.
Thank you, Meadville, of course. And came up huge in that game and helped send the Saints to the state semifinals. But no, he is capable of being an offensive scoring machine, but he doesn't have to be on a team playing with Kingston McCoy.
One of the other players that we thought about when the season ended last year, when we were at Hershey and talking about the aftermath of the state championship game last year, and obviously you knew that Kingston McCoy was going to be back and Brady Altamar, returning starter, and Gavin Walker was then going to be eligible, Carmelo Harper in his advancement. But the guy who got a little bit more playing time in the absence of Gavin Walker last year was Johnny Gisa. He was up from the JV team, was just kind of an extra body early on, but when Gavin Walker was ineligible for the postseason, Johnny Gisa actually became a starter for the Saints in the postseason. And we thought, if he can continue to develop, because he continues to get bigger and bigger, he's up to 6'4", 6'5". If he can continue to develop, he could really be a difference maker for the Saints because he gives them that low post presence. That's been a slow progress, but it's starting to be definite progress.
Yeah, we saw him against Reading in the Reading tournament in the loss to Reading last week. He took a spill, and we were kind of, it didn't look good. Right. Fortunately, he was fine. Everything was fine. Came back against Wyomissing and scored a career-high 19 points. So that's a really positive for Berks Catholic. And they need scoring options. We saw what happened against Reading when Kingston McCoy was shut down, and we don't expect that to happen again. But nobody else was able to pick up the offensive slack, with the exception of Brady Altamar, who had 9 points. He's not a scorer. He's a distributor. He's a defender. If Gisa and Harper can be more consistent scorers, Berks Catholic is going to be a very difficult out.
Yeah, because if you look at the last 3 games the Saints have played, with Reading High being in the middle of those 3 games, Johnny Gisa had 17 against Abington Heights, then the Reading High game where he had, I think, 5 or 6 points, and then the 19-point performance that Rich just alluded to against Wyomissing. So, he doesn't have to score 18 or 19 points a game. If he does, it's just added bonus. But the ultimate reality of it is he is a player who could give them a presence in the low post, which is something not only don't the Saints have, but we talked about this the other night with Michael Glover. Nobody really has a low post scorer. Michael Glover had 24 in the overtime loss to Muhlenberg because he is so big and so strong inside. But to give that low post presence would be a huge advantage for Berks Catholic if Johnny Gisa can continue to become a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, it certainly would, because the 4 main contenders in Berks 1 and Exeter, who's the leader in Berks 2, they don't have that one big man, low post player. Braylon Reiner can do that occasionally, but he's more of a defender and a rebounder more than a scorer, even though he's averaging 10 a game. He gets a lot of second chance points. But if Gisa can be that inside player for Berks Catholic, it not only bodes well in the county, it bodes well in the District 3 4A playoffs, and for the Saints' sake, hopefully the state playoffs.
Absolutely, because the Saints, of course, won the District 3 4A championship last year, and then that ride all the way to Hershey for the state championship game, in which, as we made reference to, they lost to Devon Prep in that state final. So the Saints, obviously, with a lot of experience returning, and as we've worked our way through that, we give you a little bit of an idea of where the Saints are. We're going to take a timeout. We come back to Rifton. We'll talk about the home team, the Exeter Eagles, as our Shell's Restaurant Dairy Swirl and Miniature Golf pregame show continues after this.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Exeter Berks Catholic tonight for you here on WEU as we continue with our Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf pregame show and talk about the home team, the Exeter Eagles. 8-4 overall, 3-1 in the division, and that is Division 2. They beat Conrad Weiser, Twin Valley, and Daniel Boone. The bigger thing for Exeter is going to be they are a team that can match up with the big boys in Division 1, and they're going to get that test tonight. They did not pass the first test, and that, too, was Reading High. That is the game that kind of kick-started the Red Knights on a little bit of a run that ultimately got them to beat Berks Catholic. But at a game we had a couple weeks ago here on WEU at the Geigel, the Red Knights took care of Exeter by a score of 72-51. So that's where the Eagles sit at 8-4 overall and at 3-1 in Division 2. The reality of it is, and Jeff Van Gorder won't want to talk about it, but the reality of it is they're clearly the best team in Division 2. And a playoff spot is waiting for them if they just take care of business. But they got to take care of business. The bigger component is how they're going to match up against Division 1. It's a big thing for Exeter. It's also a big thing for Division 1 because you got to take care of business in your crossover games and whether or not Exeter is going to get somebody because we know the Eagles have the potential to do that.
That's a great point, Bob. We're talking about the importance of this game being as a litmus test for the Exeter Eagles, and it is. It definitely is. But this is an important game for Berks Catholic. These crossover games are really critical, especially with how tight the Berks 1 race is, and we expect it to be at the end. It came into play last year. This is a critical game for Berks Catholic. I know it doesn't seem like that because it's a crossover, but it is. For Exeter, though, they know they want to find out, how do we measure up against the Berks Catholic Saints? They still have to play Wilson. They still have to play Muhlenberg. They've already lost to Reading, as you said. But how do we measure up? Because these are the teams they're going to have to beat the second week of February in the BCIA playoffs. They're going to have to find a way to beat 1, 2, or even 3 of them, depending on how the brackets turn out. So they definitely want – this is a really important game for Exeter. You're exactly right. Jeff Van Gorder's not going to want to say it. But Division 2 is pretty much in hand. They just beat the team that was in second place by 41 points, and that was Daniel Boone. So that's not the issue. The Exeter Eagles will be in the county playoffs. But how do they play against the teams in Division 1?
Well, the good news for them is that they are finally fully healthy, and they were only just banged up, but it was some prime real estate that was banged up. It was Aiden Dobble and Dylan Donati, who happen to be their 2 top scorers on the season. Donati at 15.1 points per game may not be as well known. He was a role player on a team that made it to the District 3 championship game last year in Class 5A. This year, he has stepped up his game to being a much bigger role and a bigger scorer. And the flip side of that was Aiden Dobble, who had a terrific football season, but unfortunately the wear and tear of that football season cost him a little bit and cost him some time. Aiden Dobble missed a total of 7 games on the schedule. But the reality of it is it also taken him some time to get back. Even if he were healthy at the beginning of the season, there is that adjustment period for the football players to get, as they like to say, their basketball legs underneath them. So Aiden Dauble not only missed the time to be able to play, but he also missed the opportunity to get into basketball shape. He's averaging just 13 points per game, but there's a whole lot more in that tank.
But in his last 3 games, he's averaging 18 a game. He is coming
That's
on.
The tank.
That's the tank. We've seen Aiden play from his freshman year when Exeter made a terrific postseason run to the state championship game. He came up big. He and Jaden Ware, as freshmen, had their moments on the way to the state final. I was with Aiden Dauble on a trip to Sacramento with the West Reading All-Stars in June, and he showed me a lot there because he was able to compete with some of the better teams that the West Reading All-Stars played against. Was really good inside, has a knack, position to get rebounds. I like the way he plays. I think he has to be a little more selfish offensively. I think instead of letting the game come to him. And I think, Bob, I think Exeter is as athletic as Berks Catholic, with the exception of one Kingston McCoy.
I think most people would concede you that last piece of the puzzle. We talked about a couple of the X factors for Berks Catholic. Let's talk a couple of X factors for the Eagles. And I don't know how X they are because, again, they were starters last year, and they're double-figure scorers so far. Jaden Ware is on the floor predominantly because of his athleticism and his ability to play defense. He can guard. He can lock down people. In general consensus, when the Eagles are in a man-to-man defense, Exeter is going to assign Jaden Ware to the top scorer, which obviously will be Kingston McCoy if and when they are playing man-to-man. That's Jaden Ware's primary role. But he is athletic enough, he is fluid enough that he can score points. He's averaging 12 a game. And then there's Braylon Reinert, who is a football player playing basketball. And that's exactly how he plays basketball, like a football player. He mixes it up inside. He scraps. He battles. He gets a lot of garbage points, but he's pretty good at it.
That's what I like about Exeter. They're a really physical team, with a Reinert, with a Dauble, with a Ware. And I think they might even be more physical than a Berks Catholic. Berks Catholic might be more skilled, but Exeter is more physical. And that's where they're going to have to win the game. They're going to have to win the game playing defense and rebounding. And those two factors, I'm not getting into the keys yet, but I think that they're going to be critical factors for Exeter. And I think Dauble has to have a productive game. I don't think he has to score 25, but they can't win with him scoring 6 or 8 points.
One other piece before we do get to Rich's keys, and that is one other element of a player who was a big piece of Berks Catholic's run to a state title last year, who happens to be now coming off of Exeter's bench, and that's Jackson Kozik.
Exactly. Jackson Kozik, who transferred to Exeter after last year. Jackson Kozik was a big-time contributor to the Saints in February and March. Football player, Bob has seen him play football. Didn't work out in the offseason with the Exeter Eagles basketball team because he focused on football. He is just now, another guy, starting to round into shape, starting to understand the nuances of Jeff Van Gorder's offensive defensive systems. And I think Kozik is somebody, and I don't know well, we've seen him play, but I would bet $1 that he's been looking forward to this game for a very long time.
Yeah, when his schedule came out, he circled this one first. There's no doubt about that one. It's time indeed for our keys to the game. They're brought to you by RE/MAX Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis. If you're buying or selling a home, Phil Macaronis is a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame with over 20 years of experience providing countless buyers and sellers keys to their real estate transactions. Call 610-670-2770. Ask for Phil Macaronis, an Exeter Township resident. You can call him, and he is indeed for the keys to buying and selling your home. It is Berks Catholic. It's Exeter. Rich Garcella has his keys to tonight's game.
Yeah, let's go with the visiting Saints first, and coached by Snip Esterly. He made it very clear, he doesn't want the Saints to lose sight of Aiden Dauble or Dylan Donati, those two especially. Second key is be patient on offense. Don't rush, don't force shots, don't hurry shots, don't settle for threes. The third key for the Saints, play, this is Snip's words, our defense for 32 minutes and eliminate the lapses. He feels like they've had too many defensive lapses in certain games this year. He wants consistent defense for 32 minutes. For the home team, the Exeter Eagles, coached by Jeff Van Gorder, he said it's very important that they make shots, especially uncontested shots, open shots. Second, limit the live ball turnovers. Third, be physical and tough on Berks Catholic for 32 minutes. And that's what I was getting at earlier. Exeter can be a really physical team and really attack the glass. That's going to be critical for the Eagles tonight.
Now it's time for us to take a look at our spotlight, brought to you by Huber's Auto Group. Tonight we focus the spotlight on Berks Catholic's top sophomore Carmelo Harper. Huber's is the region's answer for your car rental needs. Whether taking the whole crew in a luxury van to Florida or just a few days in the mountains in an SUV, Huber's stands by their reservations, ensuring the ride you book is the ride you get. Check out their inventory and get a quote at huberauto.com. That's Huber, Huber, auto.com. Carmelo Harper, we mentioned him briefly a little while ago, the 6'1 sophomore who was a six-man off the bench last year as a ninth grader in that run to the state title for Berks Catholic, got more and more experience and showed so many flashes of what was there. And those flashes are starting to become a little bit more consistent for Harper, who's now averaging in double figures, averaging over 11 points per game, 11.1 to be exact. The three-pointers are coming a little bit more prevalently. He's got 12 on the season, but his double-digit scoring, he's got double digits in 7 of Berks Catholic's first 10 games of the year, but he's done it in 4 straight. So can Carmelo Harper become that secondary prime scorer behind Kingston McCoy that Berks Catholic certainly wants? We will find out tonight. Will certainly be a good test for that. The Saints and the Eagles. It's time for us to take a look at our starting lineups. They are brought to you by Victor Manuel Beneficial Society. They have been serving authentic, homemade Italian dishes for over 110 years. New memberships are now being accepted for only $10. The facility at 311 Hazel Street in Reading is also available for rental for private parties, banquets, and celebrations. Victor Manuel, a taste of Italy, right here in Reading. For the Saints, coached by the Hall of Famer and Snip Esley, 15 seasons at Berks Catholic since the start of the school. He's 305-97, and overall in 37 seasons among the all-time leaders in wins in high school basketball in the state of Pennsylvania, with now 847 wins, 230 losses. He's won 8 county titles, won his 15th District 3 championship last year with the Saints, and, of course, won a state championship, and that was with Central Catholic in 2007. For the Saints, Johnny Gisa, 6'5", and a junior. Gavin Walker, 6'3", and a senior are the forwards. Carmelo Harper, as we just mentioned, 6'1", and a sophomore is one guard. Brady Altamar, as Rich mentioned, he's the table setter, 5'9", senior guard. And then there's Kingston McCoy, the 6'4", senior, averaging 21.4 points per game. Now at 1,269 points in his career and counting. His career high came a couple weeks ago in the win over Muhlenberg. The Saints beat the Mules 69-55 in Laureldale, and Kingston McCoy put up 40 against the Mules. That's the lineup for the Saints. For the Exeter Eagles, and Jeff Van Gorder, now in his 3rd season here in Rifton, and he's had nothing but success. He's 42-27 in those 3 seasons, including his 8-4 season so far. For the Eagles, it'll be Braylon Reinert, 6'3", and a junior at one forward spot. Aiden Dauble at 6'2", and a senior is the other. Jaden Ware, 6'1", and a senior. Dylan Donati, 6 foot and a senior. And Michael Fisher, 5'11", and a senior are the guards. 4 of those 5 starters are all averaging in double figures, led by maybe the surprise to some in Dylan Donati, who's at 15.1 points per game. He did miss 4 games, but he has come back and he has had some big games. He got his season off to a great start, including scoring a career-high 20 against Pottsgrove very early on in the season. But he has also dropped 4 threes in a game against Penn Manor on his way to a 19-point effort early on in the season as well. So Donati's at 15.1. Dauble's coming on like a rocket at 13 points per game. But as Rich said, those last couple of games has been a whole lot more from Aiden Dauble. Reinert's at 10 a game. Jaden Ware is at 12 a game. And Fisher at 2.5 points per game. That's the matchup. It is the Exeter Eagles, the Berks Catholic Saints. Again, that is our matchup, and we're going to kind of stay on the bandwagon for Exeter. Jeff Van Gorder gave us a little bit of grief about it over the course of the pregame conversation with us because he took a look at our schedule that was posted on social media and said, what are you guys writing a documentary about us? Because we got the Eagles tonight. We got the Eagles on Tuesday night. They'll be in Shillington, and we'll have that one for you. And then a week from tonight, they will be in Laureldale for the matchup against Muhlenberg. But as we said, Exeter is going to be a factor not only from Division II standpoint, but they're going to be a factor in Division I because if you're in Division I and you're going to match up with all those teams, you're going to take losses in Division I because of the battles. And if you're going to battle Berks Catholic twice, and you're going to battle Reading twice, you're going to battle Muhlenberg and Wilson twice, you're going to take your losses somewhere along the line. So you got to kind of carry your water when it comes to taking care of business against Division II. But it's not going to be easy against the talent that is here with the Exeter Eagles. So we'll see if, in fact, that can happen in tonight's game as the Saints have that concern most immediately in front of them. It's the Berks Catholic Saints, the Exeter Eagles, as our high school basketball coverage continues. We'll be back and set you up with a tip-off of tonight's game live from Rifton right here on 8:30 a.m. WEEU Ready. And, of course, you can watch it as well on our YouTube channel at 8:30 WEEU Sports.
Redner's Markets is a part of the Berks County community, proudly employee, local, and American-owned since 1970. Your support has made Redner's a staple, and your continued commitment is rewarded with the Redner's Rewards Program. Shopping at the markets earns you big savings with grocery deals, special offers and services, and surprise savings. Rewards members save at the pump, too, with discounts on fuel prices at our 7 Redner's Quick Stops and many more select locations. Shop, earn, and save with the Redner's mobile app. Sign up at the store or online at rednersmarkets.com.
Temperatures dropped and my heating wouldn't kick on, so I called Keith HVAC, Electrical and Plumbing. They had it running fast and at a fair price. That was years ago, and I've trusted them ever since. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, Keith does it all. Honest, fast, professional. They've been around for 30 years for a reason. Call Keith HVAC today. You'll be glad you did.
Keith HVAC Electrical and Plumbing. Quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit keithhvac.com.
Updating your furniture and appliances? The Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County can help. The Restore offers free pickup of your gently used furniture and appliances from your Berks County home. We offer convenient scheduling for our free pickups through our website, restoreberks.org. Located at 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple, the Restore is open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays through Saturdays. You might just find that special thing to tie the room together at the Restore. Support your community with your donation to the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
The tip-off of the night's game is presented by the Coley Insurance Group. Discover the power of choice with Goosehead Insurance. The Coley Insurance Group, with locations in Muhlenberg and Wyomissing. They are a fully independent insurance agency with access to over 40 top-rated insurance carriers to ensure you get the best coverage at the best price. Whether it's auto, home, or life insurance, they have you covered. Goosehead Insurance, the old Coley Insurance Group, is the power of choice is yours. Call their team today at 484-848-6088. Ball is in the air, and we are underway. Our officiating crew for tonight's game, Troy Lister, Jay Schmale, Tim Negrini are on the whistles, and the Saints have the basketball in their visiting black with the gold trim. And it's Brady Altamar left alone right wing, and he buries the 3, just like we said. He's out there to distribute the basketball.
There are any games that Brady Altamar hits the first basket of the game for the Saints, let alone a 3.
Aiden Dauble feeds it inside for Braylon Reiner, trying to back down Johnny Geese, and he does just that as he finishes at the rim.
Really strong, powerful young man, Braylon Reiner, right at Johnny Geese.
3-2 is our score as a result. Altamar with a 3, and Reiner in the home whites with the blue trim for the Exeter Eagles. Makes it a 3-2 game. Welker gets it around for Giesa, bringing Reinert away from the basket. Aiden Ware, as we talked about, guarding Kingston McCoy. Here's Harper for a corner 3. That's no good. Giesa flies in to get the rebound. Tried to go back up with it. Reinert was there. He tried to stop himself, but could not. Turnover, Saints.
Yeah, Johnny Giesa just lost control there for a second. Did a nice job getting the offensive rebound and walked.
Again, Michael Fisher, Dylan Donati, Braylon Reinert, Aiden Dauble, Jaden Ware, the 5 on the floor for the Eagles who have the basketball, but almost knocked away. As Brady Altamar got his hands on it, the Saints thought it went off the knee of Dylan Donati, but they don't get that whistle that way. Exeter will keep it, inbounding right at the Berks Catholic bench.
I think Jeff Van Gorder thought it was off his one of his players too.
So Fisher right now handling the point, guarded by Harper, swings it around right wing for Ware, out high for Donati, and back to Dauble in front of the Saint bench. Exeter taking their time on their second possession. Looking for a seam against the man-to-man defense of Berks Catholic. Ware flashes. Dauble gets McCoy up in the air but can't get the shot off, and they reset. Out between the circles, back in the hands of Fisher with 6:30 left to go in the quarter. Now Ware has it in front of Berks Catholic bench, trying to get by Welker. Can't do that. Great defensive stand right now for Berks Catholic. Good patience as well for Exeter. Ware trying to get Welker out of his way. Can't do that. So good defense and good patience. Not much offense right now, but that's kind of what happens as a result of all of that. Is Ware flashes up high, turns around, jumper, tough shot, and he buried it.
Really tough shot over Gavin Welker. Yeah, Berks Catholic is going to be in your face all night long. A little different type of defense than Reading. Reading is a swarming type defense. Berks Catholic individually just plays such great on-the-ball defense.
Harper faked the three, but he went right, then he went left, and the Saints will turn it over for a second straight possession. After Berks Catholic trailed at 4-3, based on the bucket by Jaden Ware to put the Eagles on top for the first time. They're going to get the ball back after a second Berks Catholic turnover. 5:45 left to go in the first. 4-3 Exeter on top. Donati kicks it around for Dauble, trying to get by McCoy. Can't do that. Has to kick it outside. Fisher's left alone in the corner for a three, and he rattled it home.
Just what Jeff Van Gorder talked about. The Eagles have to hit open shots. That was open from the left corner for Michael Fisher, and he buried it.
He just doubled his three-point shots made on the season. That is his second, and it's 7-3 Exeter on top. Harper left alone top of the key. This time it spins out, and Reinert pulls down the rebound. Fisher pushing it up the floor for Exeter. Kicks it back for Dauble. He'll spot up for three. Yes.
That's a good sign for the Exeter Eagles. Dauble struggled in his three-point shooting against Reading. Exeter with a big lead early.
And a timeout as a result for Berks Catholic. So the Saints had that great defensive stand where it took Exeter a long time, and they patiently waited for an opportunity, and they ultimately get the turnaround jumper, but then they get the opportunity on the kick out for Dauble. So back-to-back threes for Exeter, first from Fisher and then from Dauble. Dauble finally got a little bit of space in that transition opportunity to get himself away from Kingston McCoy.
One of the Exeter keys to the game from Jeff Van Gorder. Make open shots. The Eagles are 4 for 4.
Yeah, so far so good for Exeter as they've knocked down their 56th and 57th three-pointer of the season. And they lead at 10-3 as a result, forcing Berks Catholic to call an early 30-second timeout. Still 5:09 left to go in the first quarter. And again, a 10-3 advantage for the Eagles. Brady Altamar, Kingston McCoy, Carmelo Harper, Johnny Giesa, Gavin Welker, the five on the floor for Berks Catholic. Giesa on the right wing, gets it right back. Feeds it to McCoy, his first touch. Skip pass, Altamar, top of the key for three. That is short, and Donati has the rebound. So they're forcing McCoy to give it up, forcing the Saints and somebody else to beat them. And right now, the Saints are not getting that production as this one is tipped out of bounds by Giesa off the leg of Reinert. First turnover for Exeter.
Yeah, when Kingston McCoy had the ball in the last Berks Catholic possession, Exeter sent two defenders at him in the corner, forced him to give it up. He hasn't had the ball near the basket yet.
Here's Harper going baseline, and he goes high and scores. Carmelo Harper couldn't make the outside shot. He goes inside instead. Makes it a 10-5 game as Harper gets the field goal. Here's Fisher on the right wing. Shot in the paint, not there. Ware tipped around. Altamar pulls it away. Brady Altamar wants to go with it. Feeds it ahead for McCoy, and Kingston McCoy has his first two.
Yeah, nice look by Brady Altamar. Nice grabbing of the basketball, wrestling it away from an Exeter player to get that rebound as well. 4
straight for the Saints since the timeout. They're within 3 at the halfway mark of the first quarter, 10-7. Jaden Ware, nice crossover dribble, and the left-hand finish.
That's the kind of offense Jeff Van Gorder would love to see from Jaden Ware on a more consistent basis.
We talked in the pregame show about his incredible athleticism, but again, he is primarily a defender, but the offense is getting better and better, and it was a sweet move. Here's a wide-open Giesa, fakes the three, drives inside, and lays it in nicely for two.
Very nice move by Johnny Giesa. Put the ball on the floor from the right corner and got to the basket.
Zip Besley will tell you that the biggest There's a block by McCoy. He gets up high and blocks the three-point attempt for Dauble. Harper in the open floor will lay it in with a left hand. Saints on a run.
Just like that, it's a 12-9 game. Great defense by Kingston McCoy. Maybe the best defensive player in the county.
Donati has it. He's been quiet so far, guarded by Altamar. Here's Dauble, gets by McCoy, who went for the steal. Dauble goes to the rim, and he gets fouled. Shot no good, but Aiden Dauble will shoot at the free throw line.
Going to be on Harper Bob. That's his first, team first. Dauble with a nice pump fake, went to his left, through the foul.
I'm going to talk a little bit about Johnny Gisa and his offense, and the only one who doesn't have the confidence level of Gisa right now is Johnny Gisa. Saints certainly do. Snip Esley certainly does. Just feel like if he can get a little bit more confidence in himself, he'll be that much of a better player. As Oyo Gilavogi will check into the game now for the Saints. Gavin Welker will come out. Into the game for the Eagles is 5'11 sophomore Cameron Scott. As Braylon Reinert will take a breather. Michael Fisher will take a breather as well. Mason Goodhart will come in for him at 6'3 and a senior. And 1 out of 2 at the free throw line for Dauble. Makes it a 13-11 game now in favor of the Eagles. 2:45 left to go in the first quarter. Harper around for Gisa at the top. Ware denying McCoy. Gisa drives, kicks it back for Harper, who doesn't take the three. Harper now drives himself into a double team, trying to put on the brakes and slips and falls, and the Saints will turn it over.
Yeah, he tried to do a little bit too much there, Bob. Too many dribbles. He had to give that up. Get it to Altamar or get it to McCoy.
2:30 left to go in the first quarter. 13-11 is our score. Exeter on top. So Dauble along with Scott, Goodhart, Ware, and Donati, the 5 on the floor. Scott bringing the ball up the floor. Sophomore gives it to Donati. Again, Brady Altamar has nullified him to this point in time. Screen and roll back to Dauble. Dauble gets by McCoy. McCoy recovers and blocks his shot. Back the other way come the Saints. Up ahead for Gisa, who flies to the rim, but he hit it off the back iron. No good. Exeter with a rebound and coming right back the other way. Donati, rifle pass to Ware with McCoy in front of him, puts on the brakes and goes back the other way. Dauble now guarded by Gisa. A little crossover dribble, pull-up jumper, yes.
Dauble not to be deterred by the 2 block shots by Kingston McCoy. Gets Johnny Gisa up off his feet, buries the jumper.
Rockabye maybe move with the dribble drive for Dauble, and then the pull-up jumper. Dauble now has 6 of Exeter's 15 points. They lead it by 4 with 1:40 left to go in the first. Gisa hands it off for Harper. McCoy trying to free himself, and it's taken away by Donati. Picks the pocket of Harper. Donati, Harper recovers to poke it away, and Donati will wait for help. It's the trailer in Ware who draws the contact. Jaden Ware is going to shoot as Johnny Gisa commits the foul.
Bob, I think Carmelo Harper, he is so talented, a young sophomore, and the ball's been in his hands a lot, and I think he's just trying to do too much. He's committed 3 turnovers so far. He's just got to calm down and just be himself.
Jaden Ware at the free throw line following the foul on Gisa. His first, Saints second. And Ware at the free throw line makes the first. Jackson Kozik at the scorer's table to come in for the first time for Exeter, but he's obviously coming in for Jaden Ware, so he stays there until Ware makes the second free throw. If he does, Kozik will come in. Ware's done a great job so far on Kingston McCoy, who has just the 1 field goal, and Ware does make the second, so he'll come out. 6 for Ware, 6 for Dauble, 17 for Exeter. Their lead is 6, 17-11.
Let's see what they do now with Kingston McCoy, and it looks like it's going to be Jackson Kozik, at least the start in the half court on Kingston McCoy.
You got to notice it when you see it. The Berks Catholic fans booed when Jackson Kozik came on the floor. That's pretty funny. It's good-natured, I'm sure. Here's McCoy guarded by Kozik. You think Kozik didn't want that matchup? Here's a kick out. Gisa left alone for 3. Yes!
But Johnny Gisa, you talk about it, Bob. He's the X factor for Berks Catholic. He could score inside and outside if he gets going.
That's his first 3 of the year. He had won the state finals, so you know he can do it. It's a 17-14 game after Gisa's 3. We're at 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Entertaining as we expected it to be between 2 of the better teams in Berks County. Exeter, Berks Catholic. Scott looking for somebody to cut free. Donati looking for his first real offensive opportunity. Comes up short. Saved an opportunity by Goodhart, but he saves it to Berks Catholic.
Brady
Saints.
Altamar, by the way. Tremendous defense on Donati.
McCoy for the tie, spins out on him. Exeter with 23 seconds left in the quarter. Will Jeff Van Gorder hold for one shot here to finish the first with a 3-point lead? In the hands of Cameron Scott. Goodhart high post to set the screen. Flips it around for Donati with 10. They'll obviously hold for one now, with Scott having it on the right wing. Kicks it around for Kozik and back for Daubel. 3 on the clock. Daubel, Kozik's open. He can't find him. McCoy picked it away from him. Will not get a shot off as Berks Catholic's defense comes up with a turnover on the final possession for Exeter. After 8 minutes of basketball, the Exeter Eagles 17, the Berks Catholic Saints 14. We'll take a timeout. Back with quarter number 2. High school basketball presented by Savage Auto Group is live on WEEU in Reading.
Buying a home has never been so easy. I'm Chris Snyder of Mortgage America. If you're buying a home or refinancing your current one, you've come to the right place. Mortgage America's expert loan officers are available to assist you 24 hours a day, offering professional guidance throughout the home buying process. That's why we're awarded the #1 mortgage lender in Pennsylvania. Call us at 610-376-1755 or visit us at 1100 Berkshire Boulevard, Wyomissing. MNLS number 128501.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Welcome back to Exeter High School alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. 17-14 is our score. Exeter on top of Berks Catholic. They've got the basketball, but not for long. Yes, they do still have it. Almost taken away. It ends up back in the hands of Michael Fisher, who dumps it inside to Braylon Reinhardt, who finishes for 2.
Bob, Exeter with a very physical team on the floor. Daubel, Reinhardt, and Kozik, and Ware and Fisher. 4 of those guys are really physical defenders.
Saints poked it away, but it ended up right back in the hands of Reinhardt. Faith Zudi on the floor for Berks Catholic to start his second quarter, the 6'2 junior. McCoy pulls up, elbow jumper, bounces off the rim, no good. Kozik comes down with the Exeter rebound. And he throws it away as it's taken away by Harper. Up and under with a left hand. Carmelo Harper with a steal in the bucket.
Yeah, Exeter's got to do a better job with those, as Jeff Van Gorder called them, live ball turnovers.
19-16, right back to a 3-point game in favor of Exeter. Reinhardt, Kozik. Kozik going to pop for 3. That's well short. Ball on the floor. And Brady Altamar pulls away the loose basketball for Berks Catholic. Quickly up ahead for Welker. Swinging around for Zudi and now for McCoy. McCoy, little stutter step move. Baseline move. Tried to dunk it and he missed it. Came right out on Kingston McCoy and Exeter has it back.
Dribbled past 2 defenders to the rim and just couldn't finish.
Here's Daubel going to back down Harper up with a shot. No good. McCoy pulls down the rebound. McCoy, Altamar, Welker, Zudi, and Harper, the 5 on the floor for Snip Esley right now, a minute and a half into the second quarter. Backdoor feed for McCoy, has to pick it up on a bounce, and it spins out on him again. Couple of tough spins for Kingston McCoy on back-to-back empty trips. And Exeter still with that 3-point lead. Reinhardt to Kozik in the corner. Kozik off a screen, kicks it back for Fisher. Fisher will reset. Now takes a dribble drive right at Zudi. Comes up with the left hand, no good. Ball on the floor. Kozik picks it up and gets bumped. And no, a timeout call. A little bit out of sorts, and Jeff Van Gorder will call a timeout for Exeter. It'll be a 30-second timeout for the Eagles. We'll keep it here with 5 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the first half. And it remains a 3-point game at 19-16. It got up to a 7-point game, but that's when the Saints called a timeout. Berks Catholic came out a little bit better offensive flow. But the last 2 trips, Kingston McCoy missed a dunk and then missed a little baseline fadeaway as well. Just spun out on him in both cases. Kingston McCoy with just 2 points.
Yeah, he
so
made
far.
his first basket in transition off a pretty pass by Brady Altamar, and he's missed his next 4 shots. He doesn't look like he's frustrated as he was at Reading last week, but I think it's going to be really important for him to get going here at some point for Berks Catholic's offense.
5 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in half number 1. 19-16 is our score. Again, Dauble and Ware leading the way so far for Exeter. They both have 6. And Johnny Gisa with 5 of Berks Catholic 16 points. 19-16 our score. 19-16 is our score. And it will be Exeter basketball to inbound after the timeout. To Ware out high for Donati. Still looking for his first points. Drives inside, off-balance shot. Still can't get it. And Gavin Walker comes down with a rebound. But Dylan Donati, averaging 15-plus a game, still has not scored for Exeter.
Altamar, very underrated defender. Maybe probably the second best defender on Berks Catholic, and one of the better defensive guards in the county.
There's a backdoor feed to Gisa from Harper, trying to get Reinert up in the air, just takes it over the top of him, and Johnny Gisa's got 2 more.
Yeah, he was trying to draw the foul, and with a pump fake, didn't get it, but he managed to score anyway over Reinert.
Pulls the Saints to within 1 at 19-18. 7 now for Gisa. Dauble with McCoy guarding him. Gives it up instead for Reinert. Pulls Gisa a long way from the basket. Ware off the Reinert screen will pull up for the baseline 2. No. Battle for the rebound, and it's won by Gavin Welker and Berks Catholic. Saints with the basketball and a chance to take their first lead since the early bucket from Carmelo for Brady Altamar with the 3-pointer in their first possession. McCoy trying to take matters into his own hands against Ware. They clear it out. Little stutter step. McCoy drives. Blocked from behind by Reinert, and last touch by McCoy.
Reinert was playing a one-man zone. Ware was guarding McCoy one-on-one, and Reinert was just hanging out in the lane waiting for him to drive, and he got the block from behind.
Jackson Kozik will come out, and into the game for the first time for Exeter is 6'3" senior Patrick Payne. 4:39 left to go. Here's Donati driving. This time it's blocked out of bounds by Johnny Gisa. So Donati denied again.
We've seen some spectacular blocks here in the first quarter and a half. 2 by McCoy, 1 by Gisa, and 1 by Reinert.
Score remains 19-18. Exeter inbounding underneath their own bucket. Donati, the inbounder, out for Ware. Inside for Reinert. Reinert going to try to back down Gisa. Gets him up in the air. The shot's on the rim for a while and falls off the side right into the hands of Johnny Gisa. McCoy swings it around for Harper. Harper, a little dribble drive, trying to get by Reinert. Nothing there. Kicks it back for Gavin Welker. Welker's not in the offensive shot category yet. Harper left alone for 3 and buried it, and Berks Catholic's on top.
Yeah, nobody near him. Carmelo Harper from the right corner.
21-19 as we hit the halfway mark of quarter number 2. Carmelo Harper with 5 in the quarter, 9 on the night. Jaden Ware, little stutter step move, trying to get by Harper. Does, but the shot doesn't go, but he's fouled. Jaden Ware on the foul on Harper, I believe, and that's number 2.
Yeah, that is who it's on, Bob. Yeah, Ware got some space, got the corner, and went up, and Harper bumped him.
So Jaden Ware back the free throw line where he was 2 for 2 in the first quarter, but the bigger story right now is Carmelo Harper, who's got 9 first-half points for the Saints, just picked up his second foul. Ware makes the first. Nobody at the scorer's table, so it would appear that Snip Essley is going to gamble a little bit here with Carmelo Harper. Ware, a 58% free throw shooter on the season, hasn't looked like that tonight. 3 for 3 with all net. And makes the fourth with a little bit of rolling around the rim, but he's got 8 points, and we are tied for the first time at 21 apiece with 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first half. McCoy gives it up for Harper, goes the opposite way of the screen, goes flying inside off the rim, no good. Aiden Dauble will pull down the rebound for Exeter. Donati in the open floor, stutter step, off balance, throws it away. Donati got himself in the air really with nowhere to go when just trying to dump it for Reinert, throws it out of bounds.
Terrific help defense by Kingston. McCoy forced that turnover, contested the shot in the lane. As you said, Donati, nowhere to go, tried to flip it back, pass went out of bounds.
Always believe that scorers know, and Dylan Donati has to know that he does not have any points yet. You can see a little bit of the frustration starting to mount on him right now with the score tied at 21. Gisa works his way in, off balance and off the rim and home.
I didn't know if he was going to walk. I didn't know if he was going to lose the ball. He found a way to get the shot off, and it banked in.
9 for Johnny Gisa. The Saints are back up on top, 23-21. Off the screen, Patrick Payne to the rim, missed it. And the battle for the rebound, it's loose on the floor, out of bounds. Last touch by Braylon Reinert. It's Berks Catholic basketball. So Johnny Gisa and Carmelo Harper have combined for 18 of the Saints' 23. They lead it by 2 with 2:50 left to go in the first half. McCoy trying to shake loose of Ware. Gives it up instead for Harper. Will pull up for the jumper. Got it, and a foul. Carmelo Harper makes the bucket and gets fouled. The jumper is home.
I think that's on Donati. Now we know why Snip Esterly, why he didn't want to take him out of the game.
He is at the free throw line now to try to make this a 3-point play. And again, the foul, as Rich said, on Donati. That's the first foul against Exeter in this first half. Harper at the free throw line to make this a 3-point play, and does. 26-21. Saints have their largest lead. Baseline move. It's poked away, but ends up in the hands of Reinert, who jumped through traffic, but it's a travel in the process. Had the ball in his hands when he jumped through traffic, and Exeter will give it back. Big spot here for Exeter with the Saints starting to pull away a little bit here with a 5-point advantage.
Yeah, this is a dangerous 2 minutes here. Exeter's got to keep this close.
McCoy gives it up for Altamar in the corner for 3. No. Donati on a good box out, keeps Gisa off the offensive glass. Exeter back the other way. Up ahead for Dauble. Quiet so far here in the second quarter is Aiden Dauble. Swinging around for Ware. Guarded by Harper and back for Donati.
Exeter has just one field goal this quarter.
Jaden Ware drives inside, off balance, but he gets it home. Jaden Ware in double figures.
Yeah, Jeff Van Gorder wanted an and one, didn't get it.
9th time this season, Jaden Ware has been in double figures with 145 and a half. McCoy to the rim, too strong off the glass. Rebounded by Aiden Dauble. Eagles with a chance to cut it to 1 or tie it with a 3. Inside goes Ware, throws it at the rim.
My.
It goes in and he's fouled. Jaden Ware knew he was getting a whistle, so he just put it at the rim and it went in.
And that's on Harper, Bob, and that's his third. I wasn't sure, but I think, let's see. Yes, it is.
So Snip Esterly gambled. It paid off on the offensive end, but it doesn't pay off on the defensive end as Carmelo Harper picks up his third. So he will come out. Guy will check back in now with 1:35 to go in the half. But more importantly for Exeter, or just as important for Exeter, Jaden Ware's at the free throw line with a chance, if he can finish off this 3-point play, to tie the game back up.
Harper's been BC's best offensive player so far tonight. Has, I guess, trying to take advantage of a matchup, but now he's got to take a seat with 3 fouls.
Ware misses the free throw. Gisa saves it for McCoy. So it's a 1-point Berks Catholic lead. Cameron Scott also into the game for the Eagles as well. With 1:25 to go in half number 1. Saints on top 26-25. McCoy again with just 2 points. Skip pass for Gisa, going to spot up for 3. That one spins out. Dauble has the rebound. Chance for the Eagles to regain the lead now. Scott, little just dribble drive into traffic and turned over, and a collision and a foul. Cameron Scott got it poked away from him in his haste to try to get it back. I believe is going to get whistled for the foul. It's going to be Berks Catholic basketball.
Bob, two guys who are playing great defense in this game. Brady Altamar on Dylan Donati and Jaden Ware on Kingston McCoy.
1 minute left to go in the half. The foul was on Scott. Saints have it back. They're on top by 1 point. Working it around the perimeter from left to right for McCoy. Gets it back for Welker and around for Guy and Gisa. McCoy was open. Gisa couldn't get it to him, so he's going to take it inside himself. And they're going to call him on a travel. So the Saints, who turned over 4 times in the first, have turned it over for the first time in the second. And they do it with 43.6 seconds left to go in the half. And the Eagles again with a chance to try and regain the lead.
Let's see if Exeter can hold for 1, go into the locker room either down 1 or with the lead.
Is that Jeff Van Gorder's strategy? We're going to find out shortly, I would think, but they throw it away. McCoy has it back the other way. McCoy Euro steps his way through traffic and lays it in for 2.
Big turnover produced by Kingston McCoy. Gets his second basket of the night.
So it's a 3-point Saint lead with now 20 seconds to go in the half. Donati, right side, still looking for his first points tonight. Flips it around for Dauble. Catch and shoot 3. No. Long rebound. Gisa gathers it. And the Saints have another chance here if they can beat the halftime buzzer. McCoy going to try to do it himself, and he works his way through the traffic and scores again.
Great hesitation move by Kingston McCoy. Ware has done such a great job on him defensively all half. He looked like he was going to give the ball up, and then he went hard to the basket with his left hand.
Kingston McCoy said, I could give this up, or I could just finish this job myself, and he did just that. 4 straight for McCoy to finish the half, and for the Saints, taking them to the locker room with the lead by 5. After 2 quarters, it's Berks Catholic 30, Exeter 25. We take a timeout, back with a Lincoln Plumbing and Heating halftime show right after this on WEEU in Reading.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all. From residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Hi, I'm John Petrozelli, principal of Berks Catholic High School. Berks Catholic High School prepares students to be college and life ready. Guided by our 4 pillars of success: God, family, academics, and fun, we strive to positively impact our students spiritually, academically, socially, and emotionally so that they can lead distinguished lives of service and to reach heaven one day. Come be a part of something great. Please join us for our open house on Thursday, January 29th from 5 to 7 p.m.
Tonight's halftime show is brought to you by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating. When you need a plumber, get a good one. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Lincoln Plumbing has the experience to help from a leaky faucet to a whole bathroom remodel. Call 610-376-0863 for Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, as honest as their name. You're listening to high school basketball at 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. Just about what we thought between these two pretty evenly balanced basketball teams. Again, two of the better teams in Berks County for sure. They have been for the last several seasons, and this one is no different in 2026. Berks Catholic at 8-2 overall, Exeter at 8-4, and both among the playoff contenders for Berks Catholic's sake, Division I, and for Exeter's sake in Division II. But it's 30-25, Berks Catholic on top, and both teams, Rich, have had their moments. Exeter early on got out to that 10-3 lead. Saints fought their way back and eventually took the lead in the second quarter, and now they take a 5-point lead to the break at halftime.
I'll go back to what Snip Esterly told us before the game, that he wanted his players to play consistent defense, our defense, for 32 minutes and eliminate lapses. Well, they had a lapse in the first quarter. They didn't in the second quarter. Their defense, Berks Catholic's defense, was the story in the second quarter. 3 field goals only for Exeter. You could just see the half-court defense they created. 5 turnovers. They scored off in transition off a couple of the turnovers. That was the story of the game. That's how the Saints got back in this game.
Yeah, and I would think, obviously, both coaches are going to have something to talk about at halftime. They're going to have something that they like and some things that they don't like. But I go back to our conversation with Coach Jeff Van Gorder for Exeter, because the last time we saw them was when they lost the game to Reading High. And there was a lot of things that he didn't like about that game, but when he went back and watched the film, he really realized it was like a minute and a half where they just kind of lost their way a little bit. And he was like, look, guys, if we could just eliminate a minute and a half, we weren't that bad in the loss to Reading High. And I think that was kind of the way this went. I mean, they were great at times. There were moments that things got away from a little bit. But here we are at the break at halftime. They're down by 5. Dylan Donati, their leading scorer, has not scored yet. so far in this basketball game. But they've had some great possessions. They've had some ragged possessions.
Yeah, I thought they had more great possessions in the first quarter.
Right.
I thought they had too many ragged possessions in the second quarter, and that's a credit to Berks Catholic's defense. Yes, Donati is 0 for 3 from the field. Brady Altamar, unbelievable job defensively on him. At the other end, can Exeter and Jeff Van Gorder expect Kingston McCoy? Can they expect to hold him to 6 points in the second half? He's 3 for 9 shooting from the floor. Jaden Ware has done an absolutely terrific job on him defensively. Can they keep doing that in the second half? We don't know what Snip Escherly's going to do with Carmelo Harper. He has 3 fouls, picked up his third foul with about a minute and a half left in the second quarter. Does he start the second half, or does he hold him out until or if they fall behind?
Yeah, you would think he probably starts in the third quarter, but the thing is you've got to remind Carmelo Harper, don't reach, don't grab, don't pick up an early one in the fourth quarter, because then you're right back into kind of desperation mode in terms of trying to nurse your way through the remainder of the game, because he's had a great start to this game. He is the leading scorer for the Saints with 12 first-half points. But to your point about Kingston McCoy, he finishes the first half with 6, but with about 30 seconds left to go in the half, he had 2. He just took over the last 2 possessions for Berks Catholic, including a breakaway when he had the basketball he had a breakaway on a steal that he forced to get the first of those field goals, and then he got the ball back the last time and just basically made up his mind. Look, I'll finish this first half for us, boys.
Yeah.
Just give me the ball and get out of the way.
Yeah, he made a pretty move on Jaden Ware. Ware, like I said, he's done an unbelievable job against Kingston McCoy in the first half. But on that possession, with seconds remaining, he kind of hesitated. It looked like he might pass to his left, and instead he went hard to the basket, went by Ware, and scored with his left hand.
Yeah, and I think that's just the smart knowledge of Kingston McCoy and the realization that if we set up our offense, that's going to give Jaden Ware a chance to set up his defense against me. But if we can score in transition, then I don't have to worry so much about Jaden Ware trying to shut me down. So the Saints get 4 straight points from Kingston McCoy to finish off half number 1, and that's how they lead by 5 here at the break. 30-25. We'll take a timeout, back with more of our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show after this on WEEU in Reading.
Buying a home has never been so easy. I'm Chris Snyder of Mortgage America. If you're buying a home or refinancing your current one, you've come to the right place. Mortgage America's expert loan officers are available to assist you 24 hours a day, offering professional guidance throughout the home buying process. That's why we're awarded the #1 mortgage lender in Pennsylvania. Call us at 610-376-1755 or visit us at 1100 Berkshire Boulevard, Wyomissing. MNLS number 128501.
When the pressure's on and it's time to make your best move, the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams Platinum Realty is here to help you score big in today's real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, or planning your next play, Susan's experience and dedication make her the MVP you want on your side. For winning results and a team that never stops hustling, trust the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams, your home court advantage.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County Sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
30-25 as our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show winds its way down. Individual scoring, we mentioned Carmelo Harper before picking up that third foul. Excellent first half for the Saints, 12 points. Don't forget about what Johnny Giesa has done. He's made one of the Saints' 3 first half three-pointers. He's got 9, and Kingston McCoy was 6. And again, 4 of those 6 came in the last 30 seconds of the half. And Brady Altamar got the scoring started for Berks Catholic on their first possession with a 3-pointer. Jaden Ware not only doing a great job defensively on Kingston McCoy, but also leading the way for Exeter offensively. He's got 12. Aiden Daubel was 6, all of them in the first quarter. 4 for Braylon Reinert, 3 for Michael Fisher, and again, Dylan Donati has yet to score for Exeter, averaging just over 15 points per game. As we get set to start the second half, it is presented to you in part by Financial Planning Advisors. Their team of professional advisors can help guide your investment planning, retirement planning, or planning for the costs of your child's college education. Less than 2% of high school athletes receive a college scholarship. Financial Planning Advisors can help you plan for the increasing costs of college. Get Financial Planning Advisors working on your team. Call them at 610-376-6334 or go to financialpa.com. Do so and say hello to our good friend Beth Gallenmaster Marino and the good folks at financialpa.com. As the Saints with the basketball to start the third quarter and the lead again at 30-25.
And Snip Esterly decides to start Carmelo Harper in the second half with 3 fouls.
And it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Exeter's in a zone. McCoy from the corner shoots over the top of that corner, from the corner, and the 3. Jeff Van Gorder is just making changes on a timeout immediately. Was not happy with the rotation of the zone.
No.
Kingston McCoy left alone in the corner for a 3, buried it.
Yeah, he's going to make a substitution too, I believe. He was not happy with that at all.
Came out in a 3-2, and the Saints found McCoy in the corner. He buries the Saints' 4th 3 of this game, and it's an 8-point lead to start. And before Exeter gets the basketball in the third quarter, a timeout for the Eagles.
Yeah, Kingston McCoy's the last guy you want to leave alone. And that's why Jeff Van Gorder was so hot, and he sent Cameron Scott into the game for Michael Fisher.
The 23rd 3 of the season for McCoy, who suddenly now has 9. And the lead is 8, 33-25, largest lead for either side. Again, the Eagles had a 7-point lead early on. There's a cutter to Reiner, blocked by McCoy, controlled by Berks Catholic. McCoy with a big block, and the Saints have it back the other way. In the hands of McCoy. Drives, spins, scores, and a foul. Kingston McCoy has taken over this game in the last couple of possessions.
Yeah, you can see the gleam in his eye. He is taking over in the last couple of minutes. The last minute of the first half, here in the first minute of the second half.
Aiden Daubel commits the foul. That's his first. And McCoy, after the bucket, will shoot a free throw to make this 3-point play. Comes up empty. So it's now a 10-point Berks Catholic lead, 35-25. Inside for Reinert, up off the glass and 2.
Great look by Donati.
Never touched the floor from Donati to Reinert for a bucket. And it's a 35-27 game. 6 points now for Braylon Reinert, a minute into the third quarter. McCoy from the right side, trying to get by Scott on that zone. Tied up by a couple of defenders, dumps it for Gisa. Gisa trying to get Reinert out of his way, misses it, tips it, and controlled by Daubel. Exeter has it back. Scott up ahead for Donati. Little pump fake, Donati inside, no good, but he's fouled.
It's going to be on Welker, his first. Yeah, Donati saw an opening finally, saw some room between himself and the basket, and he had to attack, draws the foul.
I think he looked up and saw that Brady Altamar finally wasn't in front of him and seized the moment. Now he's going to be at the free throw line, where he's a 77% free throw shooter in the season, and misses the first.
Bob, interesting. Braylon Reinert scored the first basket of the second half for Exeter. He missed a layup in transition. He would have had 4 quick points. Exeter would have been down 6 instead of 8.
Donati's second is also no good. Hit them both hard off the back iron, and McCoy has the rebound. So lost opportunity there for Exeter, who trails by 8, 35-27. Welker still hasn't scored for Berks Catholic as well. Swings around for the outside for Gisa and back to Welker. And now to Altamar. It's like the Eagles will come out of the zone and go to the man. Harper has it on the right side. And they're going Jaden Ware guarding Kingston McCoy. Almost threw it away, but ends up in McCoy's hands. And back for the original target of Gavin Welker. Drives inside, tries to dump it for Gisa. Has to regain it. Got the bucket and a foul. Nice. Johnny Gisa with 2 more.
Really nice pass by Gavin Welker into Gisa, who picks up the foul.
So a 3-point play opportunity now for Johnny Gisa. As Cameron Scott commits the foul. That's his second, Exeter's second of the quarter. And Gisa at the free throw line. And it rolls off no good. 37-27, back to a 10-point Saint advantage with 6:05 left to go in the third.
It's the lapse that Jeff Van Gorder is trying to avoid. Exeter's is hanging on the ropes right now. They're reeling right now.
It's a good cut by Scott, but the shot is blocked by Harper, controlled by McCoy. This shot blocking of the Saints tonight coming out of nowhere. Everybody's getting on the act. McCoy goes through two defenders, up and around a third, and scores.
That's vintage Kingston McCoy. What a move.
Kingston McCoy has come alive, ladies and gentlemen, and the Saints are advantageous of it as Ware drives inside, but he misses. Right there to follow is Reinert. His putback is no good and is pulled down by Brady Altamar. Saint lead is 12, 39-27. 7 in the quarter, 13 now for Kingston McCoy. And again, with 30 seconds left to go in the half, he had 2 points. Around for Altamar in front of the Berks Catholic bench. 5:05 left to go in the third. And around for Welker from left side to right. Welker from McCoy and a foul away from the basketball. Looks like they're pointing in the direction of Braylon Reiner. They do. It's going to be the third foul against Exeter here in the quarter. You're allowed 5. You're allowed 4. The fifth puts your opponent in the bonus. Reiner now will come out to take a breather, and Mason Goodhart, 6'3 junior, will check in for him. Exactly 5 minutes left to go in the third. It's not a shooting foul. The Saints will inbound underneath.
Eagles need to regroup fast.
They lob it in for McCoy, who catches, scores, and gets fouled again. Kingston McCoy just out-jumped everybody and then came back down, went up with it strong, and gets a foul called on Cameron Scott, who picks up his third in this quarter. And that's going to lead us to a timeout. 4:57 left to go. Jeff Van Gorder, seeing this one slip away from him, is going to call a timeout here. Still a lot of time left to play. 4:57 left in the third. Saints on top, 41-27. Back to Reiffton after this.
Hi, I'm John Petrozelli, principal of Berks Catholic High School. Berks Catholic High School prepares students to be college and life ready. Guided by our 4 pillars of success: God, family, academics, and fun, we strive to positively impact our students spiritually, academically, socially, and emotionally so that they can lead distinguished lives of service and to reach heaven one day. Come be a part of something great. Please join us for our open house on Thursday, January 29th from 5 to 7 p.m.
Buying a home has never been so easy. I'm Chris Snyder of Mortgage America. If you're buying a home or refinancing your current one, you've come to the right place. Mortgage America's expert loan officers are available to assist you 24 hours a day, offering professional guidance throughout the home buying process. That's why we're awarded the #1 mortgage lender in Pennsylvania. Call us at 610-376-1755 or visit us at 1100 Berkshire Boulevard, Wyomissing. MNLS number 128501.
Following the timeout, the Exeter Eagles down by 14, and Kingston McCoy at the free throw line to try to add on to it after he scored 2 more on the lob and the inbounds pass and then got fouled. Saints have missed a couple of free throws in this quarter, both of which would have finished off a three-point play. One of them was by Harper, and they miss another one. So 3 misses at the stripe for the Saints. It remains a 41-27 Berks Catholic lead with 4:50 to go in the third. Jaden Ware off the screen trying to get away from Gavin Welker, dumps it back for Dauble, trying to get away from McCoy and can't. On with Mason Goodhart, Cameron Scott, and Dylan Donati, the 5 on the floor for Exeter. In the hands of the sophomore Scott, out near between the circles. Ware sees an opening, goes baseline, dumps it for Scott. Nothing there right now against the Berks Catholic defense. Donati forcing his way inside off the glass. No. Rebound is pulled down by Johnny Gisa. Exeter just can't find anything going right now offensively.
Bob, they're 4 for 18 since the first quarter. That's a credit to Berks Catholic's defense.
And again, they jumped out to a 10-3 lead early on. McCoy has it right elbow, guarded by Ware. Eagles out of that zone. McCoy kicks it around for Gisa in the corner. Gisa in double figures with 11, going to try to back down Goodhart. Gets him up in the air, gets him out of his way, and finishes.
This has to be a positive sign for Snip Esterly and the Saints. The kind of production they're getting, not only from Johnny Gisa, but from Carmelo Harper as well.
13 for Gisa. 3 times in the last 4, he's had big games. Ware spots up for 3, and a huge bucket there for Exeter. Maybe keeps them around a little bit now as it makes it a 43-30 game. 15 now for Jaden Ware. 2 shy of his season high, 4 shy of his career high. Altamar kicks it back for Gisa. Left wing and in the corner for Harper, who's been pretty quiet here in this third quarter offensively, playing with those 3 fouls. The Saints have not needed them. It's been Gisa and McCoy scoring all the Saints points here in the third. Gisa has it at the top. He's going to spot up for a 3. That one is short, rebounded by Dauble. 3:05 left to go in the third. Dangerous pass. Ware pulls it away from Welker, and the ball hit the back of Welker's head right into the hands of Dauble, who scores and gets fouled. Aiden Dauble strong enough to absorb the contact, make the bucket, and now shooting to make it a 3-point play.
And that's his first basket since the first quarter. McCoy's done such a tremendous job on him. He's hardly got any touches at the offensive end.
Gavin Welker commits the foul, his second, the second against Berks Catholic. Dylan Donati will come out of the game now for Exeter. Jackson Kozik will check in as Dauble finishes off the 3-point play. So 9 for Dauble makes it a 43-33 game. Michael Fisher also back into the game for Exeter. Cameron Scott was also on the bench with 2:50 to go in the third. Saints on top by 10. Altamar between the circles. Swings it around for Welker to the corner for Gisa. Saints have had all their points from just 4 players, and one of them, Altamar, scored on the first possession of the game. Ever since then, it's been Harper, Gisa, and McCoy. Gisa, baseline, works his way inside. No, they're going to say he's an offensive foul.
Yeah, we could see that from here. Used his left arm to push back on the defender.
Snip Bessel will argue, but I guarantee you that Snip Bessel will be okay with that because it's a physical play from Johnny Gisa, and he's got the physical size to make that happen. But he gets called for the offensive foul that gives it back for the Eagles, who have a chance to get this to single digits now with 2:20 to go in the third. Ware trying to do that as he flies, spins, and scores. Pretty move by Jaden Ware to make it an 8-point game, 43-35. McCoy kicks it back for Gisa, who swings it for Altamar and into the corner for Harper. Quiet here in the third. Harper trying to change that, flies and gets fouled, and Harper hits the deck hard. Carmelo Harper was up in the air and on the back of an Exeter player and hit the deck hard, but he gets back up. He's okay. I think he hit elbow first. It is his shooting arm. Carmelo Harper again looking for his first points here in the third quarter. If he makes the free throws, he's earned them on that drive to the bucket. Foul was on Goodhart.
I have him for his first. No, I don't think that's correct.
If it's on Goodhart, it's his first. They have it as 3 fouls. Harper misses the first of the free throws. Not been a good free throw shooting quarter for Berks Catholic.
Well, this little spurt, this 7-0 spurt by Exeter came at just the right time because they were down 15 and looked like they were just hanging on, barely. And Jaden Ware's been a big part of this with a 3 and then a pretty drive.
Saints and Harper missed them both. The Berks Catholic Saints are 0 for 5 from the free throw line here in this third quarter. Eagles with a chance to chip a little tighter. Inside Kozik on the post up, blocked by Harper. Ball loose on the floor. Gisa picks it up. The block column continues to ratchet up for the Saints tonight.
That's 6. 3 by McCoy, 2 by Harper, and 1 by Gisa.
To the corner for Harper with 1:35 left in the third. Rich said the Saints were up by 15. Right now, Exeter's on an 8-point run. McCoy to change that, but his jumper is short. Gisa with an offensive rebound and another look for Berks Catholic. Back to McCoy. McCoy to the corner for Gisa. Spots up for 3. No. Up and off the top of the backboard and then home. It hit off the top of the backboard, but didn't hit anything on the top, and so it falls back in. It's Johnny Gisa's night.
I'll say. I'm waiting for the call, but it never hit any of the guide wires.
Right. It hit the top of the backboard and then dropped back into the net. In horse, forget about it. Just take the loss. 50 seconds left to go in the half. If he makes that shot in horse, you're not going to win. Here's Reinert posting up against Gisa, trying to go up and under on him, trying to get him up in the air. Gisa blocks his shot, controls the board. Johnny Gisa on both ends of the floor right now for Berks Catholic. McCoy in the open floor, trying to make him pick up his dribble. He does not. He goes up and under, misses, and rebounded by Fisher. Eagles with a 30-second run here. Up ahead for Kozik, up and under, hit the bottom of the rim. Reinert to try to clean it up, misses, gets his own miss and puts it back. Vintage Braylon Reinert.
Yeah, really attacks the glass.
A 9-point game in favor of Berks Catholic with 15 seconds to go in the third. Snip Esley obviously wants one shot to finish the third. Inside with 8 in the hands of McCoy. McCoy drives, stutters, lost the handle on it, up and under, missed it, put back. No, foul. Did not hear a whistle initially, but the foul called against Berks Catholic is going to put McCoy on the line regardless because Exeter is over the limit.
Yeah, that's Reinert, his second.
So even if it was not in the act, Kingston McCoy was going to shoot 2 because the Eagles have committed 5 fouls. Good news is it's a foul. Bad news is Saints have struggled at the foul line here in the third quarter, but McCoy makes the first of 2. 1.1 left to go in the third quarter for Exeter to try to get some kind of a desperation shot off to finish the third following McCoy's second free throw, which is also good. Inbounds and shot from full length of the floor is no good. Kingston McCoy's 2 for 2 at the free throw line gives Berks Catholic an 11-point game after 3 quarters. It's the Saints 48, Exeter 37. We're back to Rifton for the final 8 on WEEU in Reading right after this.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
48-37 as we start quarter number 4 alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. Not much to complain about for Berks Catholic in that third quarter. They outscore Exeter 18-12. Well, maybe one thing, and that's the struggles at the free throw line, but it was the Kingston McCoy and the Johnny Gisa show in the third quarter. McCoy with 11 in the quarter and Gisa with 7 for the Saints points, all of them, all 18 scored by those two, but it was enough to extend what was a 5-point halftime lead into an 11-point lead as we start the fourth quarter in the hands of Exeter. Jaden Ware up top, gives it up for Donati, floating through the paint, and Dylan Donati finally gets his first field goal.
And they set a screen, they set a play for him coming out of the quarter break. Pretty pass, pretty set.
Had to feel good for Dylan Donati to finally get one to go down. Pulls the Eagles within 9 at 48-39. Now they need to stop on the other end. Gisa up high, swings around. Altamar left alone, gives it up for McCoy. A flop, no whistle, and a foul. Jaden Ware took the flop. He did not get the whistle. And then the foul by an Exeter player closing in on McCoy is going to be on Braylon Reinert. Third foul on Reinert. First foul against Exeter would put McCoy back at the free throw line.
Jeff Van Gorder would disagree with the official on the call. I thought it was a borderline. I thought it was really close. But the official underneath the basket didn't see it that way. Saw it, let him play, and then Kingston McCoy drew the foul against Reinert.
McCoy misses the first of 2. And McCoy made the last 2 in the last second of the third quarter to end an 0 for 5 at the line. Makes one here. 18 now for McCoy. And it's a 10-point lead again for Berks Catholic, 49-39.
Bob, it has to be us because we've seen some pretty ugly foul shooting the last 2 games.
Still a ton of time for Berks Catholic. Patrick Payne in there going to drive in on Harper, playing with 3 fouls. Payne misses the shot. McCoy flies in to get the rebound. Gives it up for Harper. Quiet here in the second half. Season opening. Goes right down the middle. Misses it. Rebounded by Reinert. Up ahead for Donati and for Payne in the corner and back for Donati. Fakes, trying to get by Altamar. Cannot. Swings it around from left side to right for Jaden Ware. Guarded by Welker. And now for Dauble. Dauble with just 3 points since the first quarter. 9 in the game. Ware on a clear out. Drives, off balance, leaner, no. Tipped a second time. Picked up on the bounce by Reinert. To Ware in the corner, spots up for 3, no. Pulled down by McCoy. Kingston pushes it quickly up the floor. They don't have numbers. They'll wait for help. Altamar, Welker, Gisa, Harper for three. No. Gisa flies in, gets another offensive rebound, and another look for Berks Catholic. Johnny Gisa has done a little bit of everything tonight for the Saints. Inside of 6 minutes now to go. Berks Catholic's lead is 10. Dangerous pass there by McCoy. Donati almost picked it. Gisa has it at the foul line instead. Going to drive at Reinert. Goes strong at him and rolls it in from the side for two.
This is the best game that we've seen Johnny Gisa play, Bob. I got to say. He's got 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 15 points?
I got 18
points. 18 points, excuse me.
One shy of the career high he had the last game against Wyomissing. Here's Staubel off the screen, catch and shoot three. No, rebounded by Harper. 51-39, Saints on top. They've got the ball back. Harper bumped and fouled by Daubel. It's going to be number 2 on Daubel, number 2 on Exeter. Not going to be a shooting foul. Going to bring Mason Goodhart into the game, but Patrick Payne out. And we will see the Eagles next week a couple of times. Tuesday night in Shillington against Governor Mifflin and Thursday night in Laureldale. Here's McCoy, goes by one defender, sees 2, kicks it out. Welker's open for 3. No. Tipped around and right into the hands of Gisa. Kicks it out for Harper. He'll try a 3. That's good.
Second chance points for the Saints.
Up ahead, blocked by Gisa, but a foul called. Mason Goodhart was ahead of the back. They called goaltending. Gisa just flew out of nowhere, but they call him for goaltending. So count the bucket for Goodhart. And a timeout called on the Exeter bench. I believe it's a full timeout called by Exeter. So we'll take one with the Eagles with 5:03 left to go. After the Harper 3 and then the goaltending, it's a 15-point advantage for Berks Catholic. 54-39, back to Rifton with more after this.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much, he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's kettle chips today and snack on a delicious tradition.
Back at Exeter, it is a 54-41 game. They had to confirm that bucket was a good bucket on the goaltending from Mason Goodhart. So it's a 54-41 game in favor of the Saints. They've got the ball inside for Harper. He missed a shot. Exeter scrambles and gets it back. Eagles with 4:30 to go, trying to close the gap. Donati drives inside, bumped and fouled. Dylan Donati back to the free throw line, will shoot 2 for Exeter, as he took it right at 2 defenders, and they're going to get one of them on the foul. It'll be Brady Altamar. First on Altamar, who's done such a great job tonight on Donati. Donati 0 for 2 at the line tonight, shoots 2 more here. And the first one again, off the back iron. Again, 77% free throw shooter, and all 3 that he's attempted have hit hard off the back iron. Takes himself a little walk, recompose himself a little bit. Senior back at the line. And that was no good as well. Daubel tries to chase it down in the corner. And I believe they're going to get a foul here, as Gisa and Daubel were chasing it into the corner. And I think they're going to get Gisa on a foul. So that's Johnny Gisa's 3rd. Saints 2nd. Exeter gets to keep it. Still down by 13 points, 54-41.
Yeah, they need to make a run, and quick. They need to get back in this. Because Berks Catholic will just run clock.
Donati on a kick out for Goodhart. Inside for Reinert, poked away by Gisa, and it stays Exeter basketball. I mean, 18 points for Johnny Gisa have been great, but he has done a lot more than that. Rebounds, block shots, and he's gone chest to chest with Braylon Reinert as well. Donati tried to go the step back. Altamar closed out on him, so he gives it up for Jaden Ware. He drives, tried to dump it. It ends up right back in his hands, and he rolled it in.
Jaden Ware has made some of the most spectacular shots tonight. There have been 2 or 3 of them that you're just going, how did that happen?
19 now for Ware. That ties his career high. Halfway through the fourth, Exeter down by 11. Berks Catholic with the basketball. 54-43 Saints. Gisa, McCoy, Altamar, Welker, and Harper. Snip Esley with a starting 5 on the floor. They have logged a lot of minutes tonight. McCoy, whistle and a timeout called by the Saints. Berks Catholic will call the timeout with 3:36 left to go. And the Saints will call a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. 54-43 our score. Berks Catholic on top of Exeter. Saints with the basketball following the timeout. They still have 3 timeouts left. Exeter only has 1 timeout remaining. Neither team in any real trouble at this point in time in terms of fouls. Carmelo Harper had 3 personal fouls in the first half. Hasn't picked up a foul here in the second half.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like his man has had the ball much, whoever that might be, in this second half. They've been able to protect him. Bob, but the story of this game, if Berks Catholic holds on here up 11 with 3.5 to play, is their defense, is the way they play defense, on the ball defense, weak side defense with the 7 block shots. You don't see that too often in high school games. 3 by Kingston McCoy, 2 apiece by Carmelo Harper and Johnny Gisa. Just an outstanding defensive job. And we didn't even mention Brady Altamar holding Dylan Donati to 2 points.
Saints following a timeout have the basketball. No changes in personnel. Goodhart, Donati, Ware, Dauble, and Reinert, the 5 on the floor for Exeter, who starts to chase and try to trap now. Gisa gets rid of it for Altamar for McCoy. McCoy goes baseline, lost a handle on it, kicks it out for Altamar. Keep away time for Harper in the corner for 3. No. Tap by Altamar and another look for Berks Catholic. Great play by Brady Altamar to keep it in Saints possession. 3:05 now to go in the quarter. Good interior pass to Gisa. Kicks it back to the baseline for Welker, who tried to give it back and threw it away. Saints' 7th turnover of the game. Back in the hands of Exeter. Ware, right side from the wing. Trying to drive past Welker. A little stutter step move. Up and under. Gisa helps out, blocks the shot. Back the other way come the Saints. Not sure if Gisa blocked it or the backboard did.
No, I think Gisa got a piece of it.
Gisa, great find inside to Harper for 2. Add passing to the night for Johnny Gisa. The assist. Harper's got 17. In traffic, Dylan Donati trying to work through it. Gets called for the travel. Took an extra step before the contact. Exeter turns it over. With 2:29 left to play, and the Saints on top 56-43.
Eagles full court pressure for the first time. They absolutely have no choice but to do this.
Altamar trapped, and Berks Catholic will call a timeout. Brady Altamar picked up his dribble, and Snip Esley will remind him that he doesn't like it when he does that. 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the ballgame, 56-43. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout, back with more on WEEU after this.
Support your Berks County community while purchasing great new and used furniture, appliances, and building supplies at the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County. Located at 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple, the Restore carries brand name new and used appliances, furniture, home decor, and more. Many new items are manufacturer direct and are available at unbeatable prices. Stop by the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County Tuesdays through Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or visit our website at restoreberks.org for more information.
Glad you stick around. Coming up after our game is complete tonight. First, it'll be our postgame show presented to you by the Pizza Como of Temple postgame show. Our Ready Fight Phil's player of the game, our Celebration Villa of Exeter play of the game. Then we'll throw things back to WEU Studios. Jeff Nolan, Matt Knob will fill you in on all the games going on around the county tonight and around the area, as well as our scoreboard show will come your way coming up here on WEU and on 830WEU.com up until 10 o'clock. Following the Saint timeout, they've got the basketball up against the full court pressure defense of Exeter, trying to avoid the trap. McCoy gets across half court to Altamar, and now for McCoy. 2:10 to go. Saints on top, 56-43. Berks Catholic trying to play keep away here and make Exeter chase.
Exeter only has 2 team fouls as
McCoy
well.
with a lob over the top for Harper, who sneaks behind the defense for the lay-in. 58-43 Saints. 19 now for Carmelo Harper. As Donati drives inside and draws the contact, Dylan Donati's going to go back to the free throw line.
That's the good news and the bad news for Dylan tonight.
It has
struggling
been.
0 for 4 from the line.
Again, not to overemphasize it, but 77% free throw shooter. It's just been one of those nights tonight for Donati, and he's been really solid for Exeter all throughout the year. Missed 4 games, and they missed him dearly when he was out with the scoring lack, and it's the free throws. He's frustrated with himself. Clearly, he's a better free throw shooter than what he's shown tonight. He hasn't really been all that close. Johnny Geese is going to take a breather here. First time he's come to the bench here in the half. Oye Guilavogie will check in. Also into the game for Berks Catholic is 6'2 junior Faith Zudi. As the second free throw for Donati is good. So 3 points for Donati. 58-44 is our score. Harper up ahead for Guilavogie, who saves it back for McCoy. Foul. No real choice for Mason Goodhart but to reach in and deny McCoy, because otherwise it would have been a layup for Kingston. So McCoy will have to earn it at the free throw line, shooting 2. It's the 4th on Mason Goodhart.
No, that's the second. The PA announcer just said
okay.
second.
They got 4 on the scoreboard. That's what we both had.
Yeah, that's what we have.
Okay, so Kingston McCoy shooting 2, and he makes the first. 19 now for McCoy. And 20. Lead is 16, 60-44. Berks Catholic on top. 1:35 to go. Donati trying to still get away from Altamar. A little fadeaway. That's no good. Dauble tipped it. Controlled by Kozik. Kick out Ware for 3. No, well short. Rebounded by Zudi. And a foul by Aiden Dauble, immediately fouling Faith Zudi to put him at the free throw line for the first time.
No, there are 3 team fouls.
You are correct. I am ahead of myself. It's the 3rd team foul, so Exeter has 1 more to give as Goodhart will come out. Fisher back in. As Goodhart has picked up the 2nd foul. Carmelo Harper will come out into the game for Berks Catholic. Comes 5'11 sophomore Luke Linderman. 1:25 left to go. McCoy avoids the trap, gives up for Linderman. He is trapped. Swings it around for Guilavogie and ahead for McCoy with 1:15 to go. Kingston, they obviously don't want to foul him, but they had 1 more foul to give, so they'll make that foul. Nope, that is number 5. So Dauble fouls McCoy to put him out on the line. And Aiden Dauble kind of looked at Jeff Van Gordon and was like, well, what do you want me to do? It's always in his hands. I had to foul him. So McCoy will shoot 2 now in the bonus. And another for McCoy. Now he's at his average at 21. 21.4 to be exact for McCoy on the season. 1,290 now in his career. And he makes them both. 22 for McCoy, 109 to go. It's a 18-point Saints advantage. Donati off the glass from the top, no good. And McCoy has another rebound. Flips it up ahead for Linderman, who tried to get it to Altamar, but it's taken away by Dauble. Dauble will pull up for 3. Got it. Aiden Dauble with his second 3 of the night and a timeout called with 47 seconds left to go. 62-47 is our score as Aiden Dauble rattles in a 3. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Back to Rifton after this.
Mornings with Mike.
Wrap up your first full week of 2026 tomorrow morning with me, Mike Keller, Bob McCool, and Trey Smith at 7:30. It's Trending with Trey. What's going on in the world of pop culture? Trey will get us all up to date going into the weekend, and we'll wrap things up with the Football Friday 8 a.m. hour. The NFL playoffs are upon us. It's Birds and 49ers Sunday at 4:30.
Mornings with Mike. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond.
47.1 is what's officially left on the fourth quarter clock here at Exeter. As the Saints have the basketball, trying to trap Johnny Gisa. Gives it for Altamar and up ahead for Guilavogie, who kicks it for McCoy, who gives it back to Guilavogie, who will lay it in.
Nice look by Kingston McCoy to the young man they call Junior.
He gets the first points off the Saints bench tonight. Inside of 30 seconds to go. Kick out for Kozik. His shot is buried. Jackson Kozik gets his first points of the game. Makes it a 64-50 game with the final 20 seconds. McCoy, they trap him. They don't foul him. Up ahead for Harper. Exeter will not bother to foul. It doesn't look like with the final 10 seconds will tick down. And the Berks Catholic Saints with a solid final 3 quarters after Exeter jumped out on top early, but the Saints took control in the seconds, and they take the victory tonight on the road. It's Berks Catholic 64, Exeter 50. We'll take a timeout. Back with our Pizza Como Temple postgame show live on WEEU after this.
Buying a home has never been so easy. I'm Chris Knight of Mortgage America. If you're buying a home or refinancing your current one, you've come to the right place. Mortgage America's expert loan officers are available to assist you 24 hours a day, offering professional guidance throughout the home buying process. That's why we're awarded the #1 mortgage lender in Pennsylvania. Call us at 610-376-1755 or visit us at 1100 Berkshire Boulevard, Wyomissing. MNLS number 128501.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
Get your house ready to handle the extra guests, yard inflatables, and string lights. Keith HVAC, Electrical, and Plumbing has been keeping homes and businesses running smoothly for the holidays for 30 years. Plumbing, electrical, and heating systems work extra hard in the winter. So let Keith keep you cozy.
Quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit KeithHVAC.com. Get Keith HVAC, Electrical, and Plumbing for the holidays because you've got enough to worry about with the in-laws.
Redner's Markets makes grocery shopping more convenient with Redner's Ready. Shop online and place your order as far as 4 days ahead or as little as 2 hours before pickup at your selected store. Our personal shoppers handpick your items and accommodate any personal instructions for your grocery needs. There's no difference between in-store and online pricing and no extra cost for pickup. And you can even have your order delivered by DoorDash for a small fee. Skip the trip with Redner's Ready. Shop online at rednersmarkets.com.
Welcome to the Pizza Como Temple postgame show. Pizza Como is a family-owned business going strong at the 5th Street Highway for over 50 years, serving the finest Italian dishes, Berks County's best variety of Italian sandwiches, legendary pizza. Right next door is the Yard, a virtual golf experience. Keep your game sharp all year round, and if you love sports cards and memorabilia, stop in to buy, sell, or trade. Pizza Como and the Yard, 4600 5th Street Highway in Temple. The Saints win it over the Eagles on the road, 64-50. Rich Garcella on the floor with winning coach Nip Esley and our Reading Fighting Phillies player of the game, Johnny Gisa.
Johnny Gisa and Saints coach Snip Esterly after their 64-50 win. Johnny Gisa, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 3 block shots, coming off a career-high 19 against Wyomissing. Why have you played so well in these last couple games?
Just my confidence is getting way better, I think the coaches have been trying to get me into offense more, and my teammates have just been picking me up. So after starting the season off slow, it's definitely my confidence. I think that's bringing me up.
I asked you before we went on the air if you were friends with Exeter's Braylon Reiner because it looked like you were exchanging some pleasantries before the game in a good way. Did that inspire you at all, playing against somebody that you know so well?
Yeah, definitely. We were talking before the game. I told him we were going to win. It definitely contributed to that, yeah, for sure.
But really, as a team, the defense was the difference tonight. I think you guys finished with 8 block shots. Carmelo had 3, Kingston had 3, Carmelo had 2, whatever it was. But I thought you guys took control in the second quarter with your defense. How would you describe the way you guys played defense tonight?
Yeah, defense is always the biggest part of Berks Catholic basketball. I think being a help defense is always the most important. Helping when someone gets beat. I think just defense in general is just always the biggest part of our team.
How do you go forward here the rest of the season? How do you want to be this aggressive offensively? I know Coach would love to see that. How do you do that?
Yeah, definitely. My confidence is only going up from here. So yeah, I definitely keep being aggressive on offense this year.
All right, Johnny, you can go. We're going to talk to Coach Esterly. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Snip, what is it about him? Is the light suddenly turned on, or is it his confidence, and what is it with Johnny?
It's definitely confidence. I think we had a little talk, with certain people, and I think as coaches we laid back a little bit, and I think his confidence is just getting better and better. We had to lay back with some, the way we, sometimes we're too hard on kids, and we just laid back a little bit, and he's getting all the confidence in the world right now. And when he starts to hit his three-point shot, he's going to be a force because he can shoot. He's just got to get that one or two down, and then he'll have more confidence shooting.
But of all the games that we've done of yours over the last 2 years, this seemed like it was definitely his best, and he was so much more aggressive offensively. Is that something that you guys have encouraged him to do, or did he take it upon himself?
Oh yeah, at the JV level when he played, he scored, and I think when he come up to the varsity, he probably thought it wasn't in his turn or it wasn't for him to do that. But we need him. You can see we had three guys with three, him, Carmelo, and Kingston. We have those three. Now all we have to do is get Gavin going.
How would you describe the way you guys played defense, especially in the second quarter when I thought you took control of the game?
I was a little disappointed between the quarters. I said, guys, you can't give up 16, 17 points in a quarter. Now, they made some tough shots. They made like 6 to 8 points that I thought were like, oh, my God, I thought we played decent defense. The second quarter I thought we got momentum, and then we took over the game, I thought.
You told us before the game the key was paying attention to Dylan Donati and Aiden Dobble. Can you describe the job that Kingston did on Dobble and that Brady Aldemar did on Donati?
Well, they're our two best defensive players, and that's what we do. We put those two in the Brady usually gets a smaller guard, and Kingston gets the a small forward type person. And they do an incredible job. And then you have Johnny that's coming on, and Melo's getting better defensively. So, with Kingston and Brady, they did a super job tonight. And I expect that from Kingston and Brady.
Snip, we're a little bit past the midway point of the year. We've had a few of your games. Are you happy with where you're at right now here the first week of January?
Yeah, but we got to get better defensively. I think we get too many, they had a couple fast breaks that we didn't have good matches, but it was almost like they were looking for the man and they forgot about covering the ball. And we give up too many cheap buckets. But it's nice because now we're over the flu bug, hopefully, knock on wood, and we're over injuries. I mean, we've had a ton of injuries, and the flu bug. I mean, last week I think we had 6 guys at practice, for goodness sakes. It was the flu bug hit us really good. I mean, right away. Thank goodness it hit us early.
Well, hey, congratulations. Stay healthy. We'll see you down the road. Thanks a lot.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Back to you, Bob.
64-50. The Saints take care of the Eagles tonight. We're going to take one more timeout. Back with our Reading Fighting Phils player of the game, our Celebration Villa of Exeter play of the game, all when we come back to Wrighton after this on WEEU in Reading.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all. From residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Mornings with Mike.
Wrap up your first full week of 2026 tomorrow morning with me, Mike Keller, Bob McCool, and Trey Smith at 7:30. It's Trending with Trey. What's going on in the world of pop culture? Trey will get us all up to date going into the weekend, and we'll wrap things up with the Football Friday 8 a.m. hour. The NFL playoffs are upon us. It's Birds and 49ers Sunday at 4:30.
Mornings with Mike. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond.
Hi, I'm John Petrozelli, principal of Berks Catholic High School. Berks Catholic High School prepares students to be college and life ready. Guided by our 4 pillars of success: God, family, academics, and fun, we strive to positively impact our students spiritually, academically, socially, and emotionally so that they can lead distinguished lives of service and to reach heaven one day. Come be a part of something great. Please join us for our open house on Thursday, January 29th from 5 to 7 p.m.
Welcome back to our Pete Scoma Temple postgame show. Well, Rich already spoke to Johnny Giesa, and as we told you, he is our Reading Fighting Phil's player of the game. Reminder, all-new Redner's Event Center at First Energy Stadium. The R-Phils remind you to have your next sports team banquet in the R-Phils all-new Redner's Event Center banquet and meeting facility at First Energy Stadium. Whether it's a sports banquet, a wedding, a corporate meeting, or event, or any charity fundraiser dinner, the number one place for events in Berks County for groups of 40 to 1,000 is the all-new Redner's Event Center at the R-Phils. Go to rphils.com/events for more information. Johnny Giesa just spoken with Rich Garcella, 18 points. Rich shortchanged him a couple of rebounds. He had 9 rebounds and
1 rebound. I shortchanged him 1.
3 block shots, but an all-around effort tonight for Johnny Giesa. I'm going to go back to the pregame show. We talked about it. The one thing that Berks Catholic does not have is a player who can score in the paint. Well, Johnny Giesa has shown that they have one of those.
Bob, we've talked about him since the end of last season, how important the summer and the offseason would be for him and what he can be and what he can mean to this team in 25-26. He showed that tonight. And, you know, after we were done with the interview, I said to Snip, I said, if he plays like this, he goes, you're right. If he plays like this, we're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he played physical. He banged with Braylon Reinhardt, who's a tough fullback,
really tough
linebacker, and tight end on the football field. And Johnny Giesa banged with him stroke for stroke. So great job by Johnny Giesa. He's our Reading Fighting Phil's player of the game. Our play of the game brought to you by Celebration Villa of Exeter. Celebration Villa of Exeter offers a community in the community you love. Get yourself settled into your new home for the new year and enjoy it with friends and family at the Celebration Villa of Exeter. To book you a tour, have a conversation, do so with Natalie. Celebration Villa of Exeter, be a part of the community. Well, there were moments early on in this game where Kingston McCoy wasn't a big piece of the puzzle. He only had 2 points in the first quarter, and for a while, well into the second quarter. We scored the last 2 field goals for Berks Catholic in the final 30 seconds at halftime to give them then a 5-point lead at 30-25, give him 6. Third quarter, Kingston McCoy began to take over this basketball game, and at 35-27, the Saints were on top, and Kingston McCoy made a move that pretty much left everybody standing around and wondering how exactly did he do it. I will use the words of our technical director, Sean Tansky. It was sick. That's what it was. As he worked his way through 2, 3, I don't know how many different defenders had a shot at him, but Kingston McCoy worked his way through and got a bucket. He actually got fouled in the play, but missed the free throw, but it made it a 10-point game. But it was just simply Kingston McCoy saying, look, we need a bucket here, and I think I'll just take matters into his own hands. He's not a selfish player, but there are times when Kingston McCoy will remind you that he is the best player on the floor on almost any given night.
You know, if there's such a thing as a quiet 22 points, he had a quiet 22 points. He really did.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have a field goal in the fourth quarter. He struggled shooting in the first half. But here's the other thing, Bob. He had 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 assists. He and the defense he played in Aiden Dobble. Aiden Dobble is a very, very good player. And he held them to what? 12 points?
12 points.
Yeah, that's an outstanding
6 of them
job.
in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's an outstanding job. And this team, you know, we talked often last year about the camaraderie on this team and the chemistry on this team. And you can see this. You know, we've had them, 3 games this year? Wilson, Reading, and now tonight Exeter. They play so well together, especially on the defensive end, where they're communicating, they're talking, they're helping. You know, I really enjoy watching them play defense because, you know, they just do such an outstanding job. It's not like a Muhlenberg or Reading where it's just kind of kamikaze and just aggressive, get in your face. But they are solid defensively.
It's hard to replicate the experience you gather in a postseason run like the Saints had a season ago in that run to the state title. They're reaping some of those rewards now in the terms of where they are. Certainly in a confidence level for somebody like Johnny Gisa, and in a team effort in what they're doing defensively. They're giving up 43 points per game. They gave up a little more than that tonight with a Exeter team that was generating over 62 points a game and a 64-50 victory. McCoy, as we said, the leading scorer with 22 tonight for Berks Catholic. That gives him now 1,291 in his career. Carmelo Harper with 19 points, 12 of those 19 in the first half. And Johnny Gisa, our Reading Fighting Phils player of the game, with a 18-point effort. So in his last 4 games, Johnny Gisa had 17 against Abington Heights. He had 6 against Reading High, 19 against Wyomissing, and now 18 against Exeter. Johnny Gisa making his name known now around Berks County. Brady Altamar scored the first 3 points for Berks Catholic on their first possession. And from that point forward, it was the other 3, with the exception of Oye Gilavaji, scored 2 late in the ball game for the Saints, total of 64 for Exeter. Great job tonight by Jaden Ware, because he really worked hard trying to contain Kingston McCoy for as long as he did, and he also contributed a ton on the offensive end as he matches his career high with 19 points. Dauble with 12, but as we said, 6 of those 12 for Aiden Dauble in the first quarter. 8 for Braylon Reiner, and then 3 each for Dylan Donati, who really just could not get his game going tonight with the defense of Brady Altamar. Michael Fisher had 3. Jackson Kozik had 3, and 2 for Mason Goodhart and the Eagles, total of 50. Exeter falls to 8-5, and now 3-2 in Division II. Berks Catholic improves to 9-2 and 4-1 in the division. The Saints will take on Twin Valley on Tuesday night. Exeter Tuesday night will be in Shillington. They'll take on Governor Mifflin, and we will have that one for you here on WEEU. So high school basketball next week, 2 games for you, Tuesday night, Thursday night. Both of them are going to involve these Exeter Eagles. Tuesday night at Governor Mifflin, and then Thursday night at Muhlenberg, and we'll have them both for you here on WEEU. Don't forget, we will also have Eagles football for you on Sunday. Eagles and 49ers, first round of the playoff game, and Merrill Reese and Mike Quick will have the call for you from Lincoln Financial Field at 4:30 Sunday afternoon here on WEEU for the Eagles and 49ers. That's going to do it for us. Thanks to Athletic Director Tom Legath for the hospitality here in Rifton. Our technical director is Sean Tansky. Back at the WEEU studios. Don't forget, it's Scoreboard Show time with Jeff Nolan and Matt Knob. Matt doing a great job keeping our show on the road. For Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. The Berks Catholic Saints 64, the Exeter Eagles 50. Our coverage is complete. The Scoreboard Show comes your way next here on WEEU in Reading.
You've been listening to High School Basketball on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. High School Basketball on WEEU is brought to you by
Savage Auto Group, RE/MAX Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Keith HVAC, Redner's Warehouse Markets, Diefenbach Snacks, Habitat for Humanity Restore, Chick-fil-A, UECU, Overhead Door of Reading, Spots Insurance, Coon Funeral Home, Susan McFadden of Keller Williams Platinum Realty, Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf, Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society, Brad Coley Goosehead Insurance, Huber's Auto Group,